The battle between AOC and Elon Musk is heating up, as many wonder what's about to happen with Tesla and Dogecoin. A lot to talk about in regards to both of those things right now, as Elon Musk just got roasted, allegedly, by AOC. With this tweet here, if only we had taxed the rich more, then maybe none of this would happen. The implication being that if Elon Musk had been taxed more money, then he would not have been able to purchase Twitter, and none of this would have happened. Improvements to Twitter being implemented and nothing along those lines. Now, I will say, when it comes to politics, I like some Republicans, I like some Democrats, and I hate some Republicans and I hate some Democrats. I think we can all agree that two of the worst politicians on the planet are, of course, Lindsey Graham and AOC. No one likes them because they're bad at their jobs. They do bad stuff, and pretty much everyone can agree AOC, when it comes to her tweets and her economic theories, is very out of touch when it comes to what actually factually makes sense. And I'm going to go ahead and debunk this right now very easily. As we can see, Elon Musk, he paid more in taxes this year than every politician on Earth combined. And so what's ridiculous about this is not only is it ridiculously untrue, the idea that he didn't pay any taxes, but even if you made the argument that he should be taxed at a higher rate, you didn't have to start going into Twitter stock. Technically speaking, it's not stock anymore because he now has a private company, but you'd have to go into things like Tesla stock, make him sell them in order to pay taxes and all of this stuff. And so it gets pretty ridiculous the further you go down that rabbit hole. As we see, Elon Musk, he already has responded a couple of times to her, basically throwing back the fire, saying, oh, well, she's selling $60 sweatshirts and claiming this, and that about economics and about what's happening right now with Tesla. But to go further into details here, actually, Elon Musk paid around $11 billion in taxes this year. You can see this article here from CNN Business. He's going to end up with $11 billion tax bill this year. That on December 20th, 2021. So that means this year, during tax month, he paid approximately $11 billion, and that's confirmed already by Elon Musk himself. And so now we know Elon Musk, $11 billion. So let's compare that to politicians. So if we look, how many politicians are there on the planet? My calculation, based on multiple different various avenues of research, and especially this article here, is that we have approximately 46,000 members of political class on the planet. And that's regarding national parliaments or national politicians. For example, your congressmen, your senators, things like that. Even if they represent states, they're still national level politicians. Now, if you want to go deeper into that, you could say, technically speaking, if you say any elected official in any capacity in a governmental way, you can make the case there's more people. But I'm going to get into that in a second. First, though, if we do look at the 46,000 politicians on the planet, and we decide to say, well, how much would each of them have to pay in tax in order to reach that 11 billion number? The answer is $239,130 each to reach $11 billion. And that's not even close to the amount that the average politician pays, not even in the United States. Even in the United States, I would argue that there's no chance the average politician is paid around that much. The average income tax in the United States is around $20,000. Politicians make, on average, around $100,000 or so if you are in Congress, up to $200,000 depending on what position you're in. Then we have the president, who's by far the highest paid person. But in the last few years, we've seen the president not even making necessarily that much in terms of their actual salary, because a lot of presidents forgo that. But it's around $600,000 or so. So government officials are not paid that much. Now, they do also have other various business ventures, and so that can lead to tax being higher. But still, though, just for a single year, the tax on any average politician for any country is not going to be over $100,000, almost certainly. And so to get to $200,000 would just be ridiculous. And when you take a look at the world scale, a lot of politicians, unfortunately, do live in very poor countries. And so for them, it's going to be significantly lower even. And so you have to wonder how AOC could possibly tweet this and think she's saying something smart or clever when it couldn't be further from the truth. Now, right here, you can see Reverend Doge Christopher decided to come and fact check me. He said, no, a politician holding or seeking elected office at any level of government, once elected, or one elected official per 1,000 people, so around 6 to 7 million politicians for 7.8 billion people. That was the other calculation that was made by this article here. But the crazy thing is, even if you do that and go to 1,833 in taxes per politician on that massive scale, which shouldn't even be included, because you can't really include like city board members as a politician, really. I mean, they're more of just a servant. But even if you do that, 1,833, I would bet a lot of money that globally speaking, including all of the low-level politicians like council members in, say, the poorest countries in the world, if you look at all of those combined and average it out, you're not going to be looking at over 1,800. You're probably not even looking at over $1,000, because most countries have significantly lower GDPs and their currency compared to the dollar is drastically different. And so, considering the fact that most of the world population lives in a state like that, or in a country like that, and most of the politicians that are going to be included in that, you start to realize how ridiculous any of these claims possibly are. And AOC herself has a net worth, based on my calculations, at around $5 million. And by my calculations, I literally just mean I Googled it, and I found this article here. Her net worth in 2022, approximately $5 million, whereas in 2018, she had a negative $8,000 net worth. And so she's gone from minus $8,000 to $5 million in only a few years here. And if she wanted to, she has a bunch of followers on Twitter. She could write a book right now and make millions of dollars overnight. I mean, it's not particularly hard for her to make a lot of money. She has a huge safety net in place, and she certainly would qualify as someone who's in the rich category. And so it's even more ridiculous when you look at that. I mean, clearly she just wants to get likes on a tweet. She wants to have fun with it. I mean, I commented this underneath that he paid more in taxes than every politician combined. But her argument would be likely, based on what she's saying here, that she wants to tax unrealized gains. Perhaps one of the most hurtful things you could possibly do to an economy, because it would entirely crash the stock market. As long as those funds are not being used to acquire resources, then they are not having any detrimental impact on the economy pretty much whatsoever. And if they are, it would be very hard to measure that because it would be so small. And so there's no possible way to make that case without having insane amounts of holes in your argument. And I think people like AOC make Twitter look worse because they say things that are so ridiculously far from the truth. And I certainly hope that everyone who's listening right now, and you're a Democrat, I would hope you'd find a way to push forward Democrats in your party who are more economically sound, who are not going to say things like that. Hopefully who like cryptocurrency, like Elon Musk. Push people like that up. Have Democrats representing the cryptocurrency community and representing people who are just wanting to make a good living, not pay too much in taxes, have a good life. That's what you need to push forward, and I certainly hope that's the case. If you're a Republican, likewise. I mean, there's Republicans who don't do that and who say ridiculous things. So regardless of what party you're in, we need better politicians, period, all across the board, and I'm going to be doing my best to push for that. I've already started a couple organizations that are planning right now different various methods that we could potentially make that happen. To be honest, it's extremely difficult because there's so many different various power structures, especially in the United States. But in the global scale, it's just corruption. But in the United States, power structures, corruption is also a problem. And so it's going to be very difficult to fix that or change it. But we do have some good news here to talk about, which is that Tesla is continuing to absolutely blow the competition away. So if we look at 2020 sales, and this is actually even higher in 2021, Tesla Model 3, 365,000 models sold. This is very good for Dogecoin. As we know, Dogecoin Tesla acceptance is on the horizon. And so it's going to lead to some pretty incredible runs for Dogecoin as we continue to watch what's happening here, as we continue to wait and find out, will Elon Musk, Dogecoin acceptance for Tesla, be the biggest catalyst it's ever seen? There's a strong chance it will be. That said, the moon landing could be bigger. We just haven't had it happen yet. And so if Tesla acceptance happens first, then that will likely be the biggest one. If the moon landing happens first, then that is going to likely be the biggest one. The reason why he has not done it yet is twofold. Number one, because Tesla already has a massive inventory problem. They do not have a demand problem. Everyone wants a Tesla. The problem is they cannot make enough. So they don't need to do any extra incentives. They don't need to do any extra marketing. Accepting Dogecoin wouldn't improve the business at all. It wouldn't make it better at this point. But in the future, when they're doing more marketing for Teslas, and when they have enough people that own a Tesla and that want a Tesla, that they actually have the demand go above the supply, then at that point, they're going to be competing also with other electric car companies, and they're going to want people to buy Teslas instead. And then it will be very valuable to accept Dogecoin. And that's when Elon Musk is going to do it. And that's when it's going to lead to the major run and the major spike from that specifically. Now, if you look at Teslas compared to other cars, there's a reason why all of Elon Musk's haters who drive Teslas, even AOC is an example of that, are not switching cars. They like their Teslas. They're significantly better in terms of range. Just to give you an idea, a Tesla can go at a range of approximately 340 miles to 370 miles, depending on which model you get, even above that in some of the newer models that are about to come out. And so we're seeing huge range for Tesla. You compare that to other cars that are electric, and you see there's not even close. The next two in line for the competition can only go around 240 and 200 respectively. So the customer quality is there, the price is there. Even those cars that can go that amount from other companies are significantly more expensive. So every single incentive is there for Tesla to be successful. But that said, it will eventually happen that these other car companies catch up, and that's going to be the point when Elon Musk accepts Dogecoin, and when it's actually worth it for Tesla to do that. And not only that, but it's going to lead to way more companies accepting as well. So we'll continue to watch this and monitor it as these car companies get better, especially car companies out of China, like this one right here, for example. The Wuling Hongguang Mini EV is currently second in place. That certainly has an absolute massive potential for growth, especially in China and across the world, whereas Tesla is definitely going to be continuing to be more popular in the United States. There's no question about that. So if any of these other car companies want to try to compete, they're going to have a tough hill to climb. Elon Musk, one of the reasons why I appreciate what he does so much is because he brings innovation and change like this to the world. Without Elon Musk, we would not have electric cars being a thing, and they certainly wouldn't be good, not even close to the level that they're at now. Would it eventually happen? Yeah, probably. We would probably be looking at like 30 years from now, we could see electric cars really starting to take off at the same level that are taking off now. So he's moving technology forward. He's making the air cleaner, which I happen to be a huge fan of. Now, it doesn't matter necessarily if you're a believer in global warming or not. Everyone likes clean air. And so I think that's one of the most important things here, and one of the reasons why Elon Musk is so admired. Also, take a look at this. So I do always update this every single live stream. So we're now up to 233 million tweet impressions in the last 28 days. Incredible numbers. We now are at 420,000 mentions, which means people have @Wallace 888 420,000 times. What? I mean, that's truly mind-boggling. And we also had Elon Musk, who, so remember this tweet I did? Elon Musk could be chilling. This is up to 200,000 likes, by the way, the most liked tweet I think I've ever done. Elon Musk could be chilling in a $100 million mansion right now, getting massaged by 100 women as a team of private chefs prepares him a 5-star meal. Instead, Elon Musk is literally sleeping at Twitter HQ and working his butt off daily to improve the world. Every single part of that is actually factually true, which is a term I just coined. I like coining terms. I like doing a lot of things with coins, especially Dogecoin. The coins are perhaps my favorite thing in the world, but besides, of course, Diana and Starlight. But of course, Elon Musk actually liked this tweet, which I thought was just hilarious. Now, I don't know what's going to happen next. I mean, maybe Elon Musk will see his tweet and be like, actually, Matt, you know what? Now that I think about it more, now that you mention it, and then he'll go do that. I'm sorry, if I ruined Elon Musk and he's no longer going to contribute to the world, I would like to sincerely apologize. But no, he's gonna don't worry. He's gonna continue doing awesome stuff. He already knows he could do this if he wanted to. He would just prefer to improve the world and to actually work and make things better. It's obviously more fun than just living the same lifestyle every single day. And that said, I think most people probably would pick the $100 million mansion and the massage and the 5-star, maybe not massage. I mean, who cares about? I mean, that's the less important part. The $100 million and the 5-star meals, I think that would be, every single person would pick that. And a lot of people would pick that over working hard and over continuing to put in the same level of effort Elon Musk does. Which is why you see a lot of the smartest people in the world, they stop innovating. They don't keep going. Once they reach enough of a net worth, then it's over. And so that's why I really can't say enough positive things on Twitter about Elon Musk. So if you're wondering, why does Matt do it? Well, it's simple. I want to encourage him the best I can, that we're behind him and that we support the things he's doing, because I would love for him to continue doing them and continue making the world better. For example, Starlink, I'm extremely excited to be able to live anywhere I want to. I want to live in the woods. I want, at some point in the future, to build my dream house in the woods. That's what I'm going to do. And being able to have Starlink available for that is, it changes everything. I mean, if you had slow internet, which you would not right now if you built a house in the woods, then you are in a position where you can't upload videos at a high level. Now, it's not necessarily that hard to get good download speed, but the problem is upload speed. So for people like me who are full-time content creators, it's a very, very, very bad thing to not have good upload speed. And so with Starlink, not only is it good download, it's good upload as well, and you can do it anywhere on the planet. And so it's hugely, hugely impactful to my entire life and to a lot of people's lives, just like so many of the things Elon Musk does is. And so, of course, we'll continue to do what we're doing. We're not going to stop. We're not going to slow down. And I happen to think that people like AOC, if they'll probably end up at some point leaving Twitter. I mean, maybe not. I mean, AOC seems to get too much likes and attention on Twitter to leave. But if she ever does decide to leave Twitter, I don't think it would make the platform worse. Elon Musk was making some jokes about how some people might leave, and But he did say the best people will stay, which I happen to agree with there. But he also made some jokes that Twitter could die, or that I'll show you what he did. He posted a picture of Twitter at Twitter's own grave. my goodness. And he posted this, a picture of basically Twitter. I think that's Twitter dying. I don't know exactly what it represents, but he's having fun with it. He's joking around. Obviously, that makes it significantly more fun to make Twitter successful when you know that people are going to be doubting it. And I certainly think that's the case, that he's going to do that. I tweeted this out. So we're going to go from that to soon. We'll see if I can find my tweet. It's shouldn't be too far down here. You know what we'll do? We'll just go directly to my Twitter, and then you can see it. I don't know. No, I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing it. It's taking too much trouble. But basically, it just showed all the social media companies on the gravestone, and then Elon Musk as Twitter putting a peace sign in front of that. Anyway, I'm Matt Wallace. This is Fast Stand, and I'll see you in the next video.